Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. The Buffalo Bills fall to 5-2 today. We watched the team play a game where I don't even know what... I'm not a pessimist, contrary to popular belief. I know a lot of people want to paint me as someone who is always negative about the team, that I don't believe in this offense, that I don't believe in this quarterback. That I'd be disgruntled no matter what. Well, that's not true. That's simply not true. It's a false narrative. In reality, I guess I held them to a higher standard because their record and the outcome of these games dictated that I should. And yet today they gave me reason to question that. And as such, I'm not angry today. I'm more just understanding. I have a better understanding of where we are in the greater picture of things. And with that said, I'm going to have a sharp eye towards where this team goes as we progress forward as a football team. I think there's a lot of growth here that needs to occur. I think that there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. I'll open the floor to some of them. Oh, my phone. Folks, I've been without my phone for the majority of today. It was taken from me by my father at the game. Why? Because apparently I'm a jerk. I'm on Twitter burning down our Twitter account when things don't go right. And fans who are only here to hear positive things tend to bail on us when I tweet things pointing out things that I might not approve of. With that said, I'm looking at my text messages now and I've got some questions here. They're coming in via text message. The first one. What do you think of the fundamentals and execution? In terms of fundamental football, I don't know what today was supposed to be. I guess that's the first question. If this was a game where you said, hey, we're going to focus on running the ball down the defense throats, okay, I'd give you that. You tried to do that and it just didn't work. If you said, this was a game where we're going to try to throw on a defense that's allowed almost record-breaking yards per game in terms of pass defense and just busting coverages in the secondary, and we just didn't click on all cylinders in the passing attack, I'd buy that. Fundamentally, this is an offense that was flawed from a play-calling perspective to begin with. I'm going to go back and rewatch the game, but I'd be interested to see what the number of times there was a player past the sticks or at the sticks on a given passing down where it was more than 6 yards. I'd be interested to see what the number is, and we're going to have it for you on the podcast. In terms of execution, the score speaks for itself. I don't need to cover that. Are there any other questions on the floor?
Brian Daboll's play calling. What do you...
I'm sorry. Did you just call what I saw today play calling? Play calling? Play calling is reserved for games that generate points or offense that looks not like a 12-year-old playing Madden, but like a professional who understands the nuances of football and understands how things get done. You want to talk about a lack of execution? The first question that came in via text, I'll give you a better question. Why is it that when the Eagles' offense needs 1 yard, they line up under center, they take their 6'5" quarterback, and they rush over the top of the center with that 6'5" quarterback, and they get that yard? When the roles are reversed, and it's the Buffalo Bills who need a yard, why are we running a quarterback sneak out of the shotgun? Someone explain to me a universe in which that makes sense. You can't. So don't try. I'm not trying to be a dick up here. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm pointing out a realistic flaw in what we saw today. And that's just one aspect of it. That's probably one of the most glaring. Where when you look at the plays that were being called, you didn't say... I used to be critical of Josh Allen. At this point, I now have to question who is behind this offense. You're talking about an attack that used Devin Singletary. Can we talk about this for a second? The gross underutilization of your tools. a 4th and 10 play. You decide not to take the points, not to kick a field goal, maybe make I believe, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, the 4th and 10 play. What was the score? 24-13?
24-13. Field goal gets us to within 8, so one possession.
So it's a one-possession football game. You decide to eschew the points, and instead go for it on 4th and 10. And you have one wide receiver running a route that gets you past the sticks. If he catches it where he stands, the only open receiver is John Brown running a post. And of course, their lockdown cornerback is on that route. And he pokes the ball away and you turn it over on downs. That's not NFL caliber play calling. I'm sorry, it's just not. Today we saw a struggling team with their backs against the wall come into our stadium and do what the Dolphins threatened to do last week. Once again, our team failed to rise to the occasion.
What do you make of our run defense today? Over 200 yards on the ground.
I think a lot has been made, over 200 yards. Too much is being made of the defensive performance. I've heard it from people in the tailgate, people in the parking lot, people in the stands about how bad our defense was today, how our defense needs to step up. I'm sorry, but in the NFL today, the average defense allows 17 to 24 points. This isn't softball. This isn't slow pitch softball. In the sense that my teams used to win when we allowed 7 points, but we would score 8, and we would win these ridiculous games of softball because we had hardball players playing defense for slow pitch softball. We have above average defensive players. You know what we don't have is a defense that can stop anyone from running up the score on them when you turn the ball over on your own 20. When you as an offense don't generate first downs. When you continually put them on the field. And when you as an offense don't throw another team into a position where you make them one-dimensional. If you allow another team to play a screen game for an entire half of football and then open up with deep shots in the second half because the scoreboard dictates that they can, they're going to give up yardage. That's going to be a thing. I don't fault our defense at all for this. And instead, what I do is I point once again to the offense that has become the bane of this Buffalo Bills season. Wow, that is terrible!
There's fruit in it.
Oh, we have another question coming in via text. Run game, bad weather game, have been running the ball well, but why not today? I'll tell you why not today. Because the much maligned front seven of the Eagles has yet to face a pass defense that, let's face it, guys, it's anemic. The Buffalo Bills fell again today in the scoring offensive rankings. I heard that on the drive home from the stadium. Once again, we've fallen in terms of what's acceptable, in terms of scoring. We're somehow 5-2, and we are still very much in the playoff line. But we are not an offense that can score points. This is a fried cake donut. It's one of the best. It's, in fact, the best donuts. And that's what the Buffalo Bills offense is. It's plain. It has no frosting. It has no sprinkles. It has no filling. There's nothing here to this. There's nothing that makes this special. It just tastes good once you put it in your mouth, and then it's gone. That's what this Buffalo Bills offense is. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing pretty about it. But every now and again, it'll do the trick. Guys, I can stand up here and scream for ages, but I'm not going to do it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to point out, this is what we are right now. It's not what we can be, but it's what we are. So what we as fans need to do is just chew on it and chase it down with a whole bunch of this. And with that, I'll leave you to it. We'll have more this week in the podcast. God bless you.